Elon Musk is going to supply internet to the entire world, and this is how he's going to do it. Also, only a small percentage of people that watch our videos are actually subscribed, so if you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind later. Enjoy the video. Nearly half of the world's population does not have access to internet. This is because most internet options require a vast, expensive infrastructure of underground cables. This leaves many sparsely populated areas in developing countries in the dark without service. Satellite internet has been around to serve this market for a long time, but it has many issues. Traditional satellite internet is provided from one massive, bus-sized satellite that orbits around 22,236 miles above Earth. Because the satellite is so high above the Earth, it can easily provide internet to places where cables can't. The major issue with this is, everyone connects to the same satellite, and with the distance being so large, there are limited data capabilities and connection speeds are extremely slow. This is where Elon Musk comes into play. Elon Musk saw this problem and came up with a solution, Starlink, a massive network of internet beaming satellites that encircle the entire globe. This constellation of satellites will eventually provide internet access to any spot on the planet. All of this is being done through his company SpaceX. If you don't know what SpaceX is, it's a company that Elon formed to revolutionize space technology and eventually colonize Mars. And Starlink is just one step in his master plan. SpaceX has already launched over 700 satellites into orbit, and it plans to launch 12,000 more over the next 5 years, 6,000 of those by the end of 2024. Musk will then set up the other 30,000 over the next several years. Elon wants to send a total of 42,000 satellites to space over the next 10 to 20 years, and that's over 15 times the number of total operational satellites in orbit today. These satellites are so much better than traditional satellite internet because they are in low Earth orbit, only about 200 to 400 miles above the Earth. That means they're about 20,000 miles closer to you, and that provides a much reduced connection delay. But because they are so close, you need thousands of satellites orbiting all around the globe to provide excellent signals to everyone on Earth. Every single satellite will connect to several others using laser beams, creating a web that functions as the network's backbone. These satellites will then coordinate with each other and traverse the planet constantly to provide internet access wherever it's needed. So what can you expect if you decide to go for Starlink internet? There will be high-speed, low-latency internet anywhere in the world by the end of 2021. And this isn't your average satellite internet. Depending on your location, you can expect speeds anywhere between 77 and 170 megabytes a second now, and that will soon double to around 300 megabytes a second by the end of 2021. This easily supports anything the average consumer would be doing, including video calls and online gaming. This is huge considering that a survey concluded that 74% of internet users want to stream high-quality video on platforms such as Netflix, Disney+, and Hulu. 72% want to have high-quality video calls on platforms such as Zoom, Skype, and FaceTime, and 56% want to play online video games with high performance. To be able to do all this, you'll only have to pay $99 a month with the $499 upfront cost for the whole kit. Elon took his goal of providing internet to absolutely anyone a step further by making Starlink extremely simple to install. Setting up your Starlink internet is as simple as pointing the dish towards the sky and plugging it in. This way, even the least tech-savvy individuals can have their internet up and running in no time. This idea is revolutionary, but Elon isn't trying to take over the telecommunications industry completely. He simply wants to capture a fraction of the $1 trillion a year industry. Just doing this would net SpaceX between $30 to $50 billion a year. This much money could completely fund Starlink and the infrastructure for SpaceX's Mars launch. Starlink would be the catalyst for successful Mars colonization, effectively making humankind an interplanetary species. However, there are a few concerns with Starlink, the biggest issue being space debris. Space debris is such a large concern because when you have so many satellites in close proximity orbiting all around the globe, there is a much greater chance of them crashing into each other. These crashes could create seas of debris that will stay in orbit around the Earth for decades or maybe even centuries. To compound this, the debris can potentially damage other satellites, which creates a cycle of more debris getting stuck in Earth's orbit. This would massively hinder space travel and could create an obstacle for Elon's plan to colonize Mars in the future. But this may be a risk that is worth taking in order to provide internet access to the entire world.